What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So glad to have you guys back here. And if you're a newbie to my channel, hello and welcome. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the little notification bell for more videos. So welcome, clutter lovers, to this week's episode. Today is all about how to declutter and reorganize your brain. Say what? Well, yeah, declutter and reorganize your brain. So I know it sounds bizarre, but here's an analogy that will help you understand what I mean. Your brain is like a room, and this room is separated into two rooms, your conscious and your subconscious. And every thought you have, subconscious or conscious, gets stored in a box. And as you keep thinking about that one specific thought, the box gets bigger and bigger and takes up more space. The more you have, the more room it takes up. Now, of course, we can't get rid of all of our thoughts because some of them are super important. But once in a while, all of those thought boxes become overwhelming. There's too much and you become stressed. We all have those moments where we feel our lives are filled with stuff we don't really need, whether it be thoughts, actions, people, or actual stuff all over the place. Every single one of us needs to declutter at some point. And the first step in decluttering is learning how to declutter the brain. So, I've come up with tips and tricks to help you declutter your brain, calm your thoughts, and rejuvenate inspiration. Basically, sorting out your thoughts so you won't be so stressed anymore. So like most of my episodes, I have to tell you why you need to do this and why it's so important. So recently, I watched a video called The Theory of Awesomeness. I will link that video down below. It's so good, you really should go and check it out. But during the video, the speaker explains that we as humans cannot function mentally, physically, or emotionally if our minds are stressed or depressed. It has been scientifically noted that we only function to our highest capabilities when we have a positive mindset, when we're de-stressed, and when we're happy. So basically, we are blobs of stupidity when we are not happy. And the last thing about why it's so important is basically when your mind is cluttered, so is the rest of your life. So basically, if you have a messy brain, your life will be messy too. So basically, if you don't do these things, you're not going to function. You're going to be sad and a stressed, overwhelmed person. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm serious. If you want to function at your best, follow these steps. So here it is, peeps. 7 ways to declutter your thoughts. So the first step I've actually mentioned in videos previously, but step 1 is to breathe. This is one of the best ways to start decluttering the brain. Taking 5 to 10 long, lung-filled breaths helps to calm the brain. Breathing in slowly and releasing slowly makes your heart rate slow down while pumping more oxygen through your body and into the brain, which allows for your brain to think in a more clear and calm, collected manner. I do this by taking a breath in for 4 seconds, holding for 2, and releasing over 8. Do this a few times. I guarantee you'll feel calmer. Number 2 is declutter your physical environment. When everything around you is messy and out of place, it starts to affect the brain. Let me put this into an example. If a child constantly witnesses negativity around him or her, it starts to affect the child and may affect the way it grows up, interacts with people, or behaves. This is because they are constantly surrounded and exposed to this. So it's the same when it comes to your brain. If you constantly see mess and disorganization, your brain doesn't know how to be organized. What you put in your physical environment affects your mental environment. The same works in opposites. When you walk into a room and it's so clean and everything is in its place and it smells delicious, it brings a sigh of relief. This is what we're trying to accomplish. Now, for those of you that loathe cleaning, this is my advice to you. Start small. Start with one part of your house or one section of your room and organize it. Take a step back and see how it makes you feel. Go little by little, because even cleaning can become overwhelming if you don't do it right, and that kind of defeats the point of what we're trying to do here. I like to light some candles, put on some jams, and clean. It distracts me. Step number 3 is to write it down. Our brains are constantly bouncing around with thoughts and ideas, and they come and go. A great way to get these thoughts out of your head is onto a piece of paper. Honestly, I recently started doing this and it does work. Because when you don't write it down, you can't stop thinking about it because a part of you feels like you're going to forget it, and that's why your brain keeps popping that thought back into your brain. When you write it down, your brain has acknowledged the fact that it is somewhere and you no longer have to force to remember it. You can tell yourself, okay, it's on this piece of paper and no longer in my brain, time to move on. An extra tip is if it's negative thoughts, write them down, look at them, accept and acknowledge, and literally scrunch it up and throw it away. You are physically throwing away that thought and it feels so good. Step number 4 is identify what's important. One of the reasons our minds are so cluttered is because we hoard all of our thoughts, telling ourselves that each and every one of them are super important and that all of them matter. Well, that's just wrong. Some are honestly completely useless and unnecessary. Like I said before, write the important ones down in a safe place and the rest, write it down, scrunch it up and throw it away. I have a table here that'll help you suss out which ones are important and which ones are urgent and which ones aren't so much. Step number 5 is to stop multitasking. As much as many of you would like to think that you can multitask, did you know that in reality, only a small percentage of the population can actually multitask? It's incredibly hard for the brain to focus fully on more than one thing. So if you're saying you're multitasking, it just means you're not fully focusing on either of the tasks you're meant to be doing. And in doing that, it actually causes your brain to be stressed because it can sense that you're not focused. So stop trying to do too much at one time. Become a single tasker. Focus on one thing at one time, put all of your focus into it, complete that task, and then move on to the next thing. You won't feel like you have too much on your plate. Step number 6 is literally the easiest step you could do. Go for a walk. Honestly, this is a great way to take a break from all the stuff that's happening and just spend some time with yourself for yourself. It's like you're walking away from the anxiety and from the stress and breathing and walking back with a clearer, calmer mind and ready to conquer. And finally, step number 7 is to set intentions. Clutter happens when we don't know what's happening, what we want to do, where to start, how to do it, and when to do it by. So it all starts to build up and then eventually explodes because we become overwhelmed. Set intentions for every task. When to have them done by. Why are you doing them? What are you going to start with? It helps to organize your brain, and in organizing your thoughts and tasks, it helps to de-stress you because now you have a clear plan of action. So there it is, peeps. 7 tips and tricks on how to organize your brain and your thoughts. Hit the like button if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!